Hello. It is Thursday night again. We are here today. We're going to be talking about habits, consistency, routine, also about setbacks and life and all the things that can stop us from, quote unquote, being motivated.
Hello, we are your hosts, Melissa
Amita?
And Beth.
entrepreneurs, busy moms, and women keeping it real, especially when it comes to meals, mindset, and movement. We will show you that taking charge of your health is accessible, attainable, and easier than you think. Follow along as we offer tips, tricks toward healthy and happy living without overwhelm or shame. Welcome to Healthy Meal Preppers.
So let's start with Beth. Tell us your secrets, Beth. How are you so consistent and motivated all the time?
Consistent with my fitness is easy for me. It's just part of me. I think it helps me to stay consistent, knowing each day I'm going to be doing some sort of, I guess you could call it workout or exercise. And I will have that planned in my day. Before the day starts, go to bed, I wake up, I know when I'm going to be getting my exercise in. That is easy for me. There's other things in my life that are hard and that I'm working on becoming a habit. But with exercise, I would say keeping it consistent as best you can, but also understanding that life is full of challenges, life is full of obstacles, and things get in our way and can mess up that routine of ours. And always be mindful and planning ahead that when an obstacle comes, what is plan B? Okay. So I know that there are days when, if the only time I can work out I know is after school, I can tell you right now, I'm going to be exhausted. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to feel like doing it. I've had a long day and the last thing I want to do is still be on my feet. But I can tell myself, okay, I'm going to put on my shoes and I'm going to get outside and I'm going to go for a walk. And a lot of times for me, I'll just say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go 1 mile. I can do that. It'll take me 10 minutes and I'll be done. And y'all, after that 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, now I'm in the groove. I think I can go another 10 minutes. And before you know it, I've got my 3 miles in and check it off. I mean, it just blows my mind how if you can just get your feet in those shoes and on the floor and start moving, what a difference it makes. And as tired as I was going into it, the energy it gives me when I'm done. And so it's a lot about too, just remembering that. Remembering, okay, I will feel better after this. And so, like I said, exercise for me is an easy habit. And I can talk myself into doing it much easier than some other things that I have a hard time with. I don't know if you want me to go into some of mine.
Yeah.
So right now I am really, really trying to make sleep a priority. And I have the hardest time. I can tell you every evening, Josh and I will go, okay, tonight we're going to be in bed by 9:30. And it's still 11 o'clock by the time I'm finally getting into bed. And he's the same way. And it has an effect. I mean, I think sleep is probably one of the most important things. And we're learning more and more about just the health benefits of it. And so I know that, but why is it so hard for me to shut things down? There's just, my to-do list is so overwhelming sometimes that I feel like I need to learn to be more organized. I need to get my life organized. It's so weird. I can get exercise, I can organize that and figure out where that's going to fit in. And that's probably a priority over a lot of other things that I don't want to do.
That's so interesting because like I'm the opposite, right? Like I don't compromise my sleep. I mean, I have like a little, I think I've talked about this, my like health app, right? Like the bedtime timer. I have it and it like dings at 9:35 p.m. That just means like you should be in bed. And like many nights I don't even see it because I'm actually like asleep.
So if you hear the ding, are you able just to immediately stop whatever you're doing and just
No, but it's sort of just this like, oh yeah, okay. It's time to just wrap up what I'm doing.
I think with me, I'll say, okay, this week, y'all, it's been tax. Here I am.
Mhm.
See, putting off the things I hate to do to the last minute. And so now I'm frantically trying to do my taxes, my son's, my daughter's. And I keep saying, okay, as soon as April 15th's over, okay, I can get back into not staying up so late, you know. But then next week there's going to be some other deadline, you know. It's just, I feel like it's.
But I like that you kind of said, you know, there's probably something every week.
Mhm.
But the fact that you've actually named it, that your sleep is a priority, I've never heard you say that before. Maybe because I'm always focused on how much good exercise she does, and like it's easy for you, right? Like it's just like sleep is easy for me, but getting motivated to exercise, like I gotta say, so I got a trainer. I think I talked about that like a few weeks ago. So I've been going like 2 times a week with the trainer, and then we'll talk about how Beth kicked our butts the other weekend because she was our trainer for 30 minutes. And so I don't go as often as like I did just by myself. And what I used to do was the elliptical. And on Tuesday, I went to the gym. I didn't have my trainer, and I only did 30 minutes on the elliptical. And I felt kind of crappy about it. And I was like, what? Okay, but I came, and I did it. And I think that's something, right? Like, we're so fixed on, I must get this much. Like you said, I must do my 3 miles or it's not worth anything.
Well, and I think we have to also remind ourselves just movement, how important it is, especially the way most of us live our lives so sedentary, that any opportunity just to move, it doesn't have to be high intensity, it doesn't have to be this big workout. Just walking, it is just the best exercise. And I just think, you know, it's something that's so convenient, so easy to do. And we just need to just remind ourselves it's okay to just take a walk. And I'll tell you, that is probably the most therapeutic time of my day, when I am just by myself. And oh my goodness, the creativity things that happen. And I've got my best lesson plans during those times, you know, so it's a win-win. You're getting movement, you're getting creative time.
I like that. So if like we're talking about goals, because I think that's day 4, then like maybe the goal doesn't have to be I have to work out 1 hour. I must run 3 miles.
Well, the goal should be, I mean, short-term goals, long-term goals, right?
Right.
Bite-sized things that are obtainable. I think I talked about just the idea of moving for me was something that was hard to get back into the routine. And I have memory of what it was like and how much better I felt doing it. But after COVID, it just isn't a part of my everyday. But, you know, even talking to my parents, you know, they went on a long cruise, and both of them now are like, okay, we need to like eat healthy. And it's typically my mom, you know, that wants to get more on a, you know, eating healthy. But this time it was both of them. They're like, we both need to eat healthy. And that's what I told my mom was, I'm like, it doesn't have to be all or nothing, right? I mean, we put this pressure on ourselves that if we haven't obtained all, then we've obtained nothing. And that's not the case at all. I did want to touch on, so I've been working with Beth now for 3 weeks, and one of the goals I had is to move more, and I'm starting to get better about moving more. But what I noticed the first time that I worked with you, it is a whole body workout, right? So intentionally, it's a whole body thing. There was a bit of repetition in that I did lunges each time, squats each time. The first time was horrendous. I was in so much pain. I mean, I was in so much pain.
Sore.
Like, yes, sore. And it was terrible. And part of it was the fact that you made 4 appointments with me was so smart, because the second time it was kind of still horrible. I mean, from being sore. I felt really good doing it. I felt really proud of myself, but I still was really, really, really sore. And then this last time that I did it, I was like, okay, I was less sore, but I had also added a couple things throughout the week where I was like, I don't want this to be the only day that I'm doing squats, the only day that I'm doing lunges and things like that.
Motivated. There's your motivation right there.
Well, my motivation was I didn't want to be in pain.
Well, but look at how that weekly time turned into now.
Right.
So, you know, and
right. And I mean, I was telling Amita as I was walking through my living room, you know, I mean, there was a chair that was pulled out of the table. And so I went to push the chair in, and I was like, well, I can just do a few lunges, you know? So it was like, it was things that I would have just brushed past. But
knowing that by not doing it at all, I was in a lot of pain the first 3 times that I did it, right? But it got easier. So I think I think that's true of all the things we talk about. Creating habits. Just keep at it. At least give yourself
Something.
4 times. Like try it 4 times.
Right,
Force yourself to do it.
Mhm.
3, 4, 5 times, and that becomes
Mhm.
closer.
And it doesn't have to be the be all end all. I think that's one thing I've really learned finally. Like, I'm all about, okay, this is, if I make a decision, I'm going to do it, complete it, etc. But like, if it doesn't work, like if that workout doesn't work, or if that time of day doesn't work, like you can change it.
Well, and I think it's so important to find things that you enjoy doing.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, nobody's gonna I've gotten into Pilates and I loved it, love it. And it's just, I would have never thought about it, but it to me, it's not, I don't know. I have really, really gotten to
Yeah.
it. I think because I do so many other more high intensity, not that is high, but it's not impact. And I just think it's so, and I think too, as I'm getting older, I'm finding my body needs different things. And so, it's seasonal. You kind of have to find,
Right.
There
what
you
your
go.
body needs at this moment in time.
Right. I mean, take that back to healthy eating, right? I mean, I tell people pick a couple of proteins, try not to make it too complicated, but we have to remember we still have to enjoy it. We have to make it taste right. And so that you may think that, okay, well, this recipe is going to be great, or this way that I'm making chicken, I might really enjoy it. But then you try it out and you're like, oh, well, I didn't really love that. And we tweak it a little bit. I mean, can you eat chicken? Freaking chicken. Can you eat it 3 times, 4 times in a week? Absolutely, you can if you change it up, right?
Sure.
So just because we tried it that way the first time doesn't mean we have to repeat it. I mean, just change it up. If you didn't like that workout or didn't like that the way that exercise felt, change it up, right?
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's probably the moral of the story today, right? Like, try something. If you like it, do it again. If you don't like it, do something different. But also try it for real. Like, try it 3 or 4 times.
Right.
And
Right.
then decide, okay, I'm going to try this 3 or 4 times. And I just think that having some grace, I can't even believe I'm saying this, like the 3 years ago me would have been like, grace, what the heck? But it's really true.
Well, it's self-compassion too.
It's really true.
Yeah. And I also, just to plug into, is sometimes having an accountability partner and just finding someone that you can take on these habits with.
Yeah.
And just sharing that with someone. And then too, just having that accountability person to, not to bug you about it, but just that you can go to and say, okay, and that you can just hash things out and talk it through. I just think having that person there is going to meet you where you are.
Right. I think about that. I think we added it. I don't know if we did, and if we didn't, it will be added this week. But one of the reasons we added the cell phone, when y'all sign up for the newsletter or the 21-day reset, we haven't asked for a phone number, but I think as you start seeing that phone number, the reason that is, if you want us to, we follow you through that 21 days. And if you want us to text and reach out, I mean, we are absolutely, that's what we want to show, that we are here. If you don't have those accountability partners inside of your inner circle, or you just want someone outside of your inner circle, put your cell phone number in there. I mean, we systematically go through the people who are doing the 21-day challenge and email, but if you want to text, happy to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, the other thing is, like, if you can't find a person, for a long time, I told myself I wasn't allowed to, like, listen to music unless I was on the elliptical. Or now I'm like, that's when I listen to my audiobook, for example. Like, that's the time.
It's something for you to look forward to. And
So I kind of couple those two things together.
That's funny that you say that. That's how I got back on my Stairmaster. Because I said that the only time I was going to do the Stairmaster was when I was watching, like, my magazine, whatever, trash TV.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay,
There you go.
sweet. I get to watch my trash TV, but only if I'm on.
And then your brain, like, does it. It's like, oh, I'm going to start doing this at the same time, It just automatically couples those two things. So, all right, take home points. Accountability partners, Give
Try it.
yourself grace,
Try it at least 3 times, 4 times.
and we'll see you next week.
All right, cool.